Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line and our Christmas special, where we will be going over all the huge action from the Christmas period. I nearly effed that up. But anyway, we keep going. As you can see, Dave's not with us today. Dave is not well. He's actually in hospital. So they found he has a heart, but now they have to fix it. So good things come to those away. It's like a little Christmas miracle.
It's like, get well soon, Dave. Don't chat up too many nurses and get out there soon, pal.
Yeah. But we have a very, very good replacement in Andrew Blair White. Andrew, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight.
No worries at all. Sending on my best to Dave as well. Good to join you guys. Hopefully get through some great action now coming up to Christmas.
I texted Andrew today and he was out playing a few holes being Tiger Woods Jr.
No, not in the slightest, actually. Tiger Woods could play around 4 rounds of golf in the same shots I'd take to do 1 round of golf. So it's not one of my great pastimes, but I do enjoy the odd game of golf.
Did you see Tiger Woods' little fellas, though?
Oh, he's absolutely immense. Like he's got the strut and everything. Like,
oh, he's a scratch handicap already, without a doubt. Tom, I've a question for you. How's Shauna, by the way? We need an update on Shauna. We haven't had one in 2 weeks.
She is good. She's very good. She's training away. Henry likes to give them a bit of time between their runs, but definitely between their first and their second run. So hopefully she will be out in the new year. Haven't spoken to them about a target, but I know there's a race on the 7th and a race on the 9th of January. So
there's one in mid-March as well at some Presbury Park place. Mayor's Novice Hurdlers. I don't know what. It's not a great race, but I think she can run there.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens at the start of January, and then we'll go from there. But yeah,
fill me with optimism, lad, will you? Come on, fill me with optimism.
I'm optimistic. Stranger things have happened. That form is very good, I feel. So. Yeah, look, we'll see. There's a race at Clonmel and I think Fairy House at the start of January. I don't know. Like, we'll talk to Henry and we'll leave it up to him and see where he wants to go. But she may need another few weeks, or she may be ready for that. So we'll see where we go from there.
Where are we going with the new mayor? Oh, shock! We didn't tell anyone about it. Oh, look at that.
The new gelding.
We now have the new honeysuckle. This is the next dream, lads. Honeysuckle, take it away, sell him, Tom. Her.
Him. He's a gelding. He's a boy.
Well, hold up now. It's the next
Duvan. So
the next Duvan.
There you go.
Over from France.
Exactly. We found another one in France, guys. A horse called Macvis, who is trained, ironically, by the same trainer that trains Shona's half brother Skeggy. So she trains in Chantilly, and we managed to find him. She's actually retiring from training in the coming weeks. She's had a low enough strike rate the last couple of years. So we are hoping that there's a bit of improvement in this lad. He's won a race on the flat already. He's been placed, and he has a handicap mark of 80, which is pretty decent. His half-sister is a listed placed hurdler. And his dam is a half sister to 2 black type horses. So we are pretty sweet on this lad. We managed to buy him last week or this week. He got vetted this week. Flew the vet. Is coming over as soon as transport can get arranged with all the France and UK stuff. But yeah, no, we're very excited about him. There's still some shares left if you want to get in touch. Andrew will put my details in the description, I'm sure. Or you can find me on Twitter.
Will I really?
I hope you do. But no, he's very exciting, lads. Like a 3-year-old hurdler rated 80 off the flat from a poor enough trainer with a decent pedigree. He costs us 15 grand, so it's not very dear at all. I was saying to someone today, I think if we'd have bought him in September, it'd have cost an awful amount more. So no, we're excited about him, and he, as I said, he goes to Henry. So fingers crossed. And if you want to get involved, give us a shout.
Right, cameras are off now. Tell everyone what you taught me. This thing is a weapon. This thing is the next Kauto star, lads. We're going to make an absolute fortune out of this joke. 15 grand. I'd buy 10 in the morning.
He's rated 80 for a trainer who's had like 4 out of 65 this year. And he has a pedigree to progress. His family have progressed with age. He's only 3. There's just nothing to knock him. It's the same with Shona. We take our time in buying them, but when we buy them, they have to tick every box, and this lad again does. So, yeah, he's excited. He is a very excited. He literally could be anything. So.
Next Cheltenham Festival winner. That's what I heard.
They say add £40 to your flat rating. So even if he doesn't improve, he would probably have a rate. He would hopefully have a rating of 120 over hurdles. So
that's minimum expectations. Now, let's be honest. That's minimum what we're expecting.
Well, yeah, I'd hope he can improve. So if he improved on the flat, that then goes up. So, but let's take it off that 120 rated hurdler. I'd be happy to.
I'm trying to sell you a horse here now, and you're just down in everything. Jesus Christ! Right, on to the racing. I give up with you.
You sell the moon and the stars with the horse. No, there's nothing not to like about this horse, lads. He literally could be anything. So
aim for the stars, and if you hit the moon, who cares? There's the selling point. Right, on to the racing. What we're here for. As we said, there's I think we have 14 races to go through. So the boys have the hard liquor ready for this. I'm cracking. I didn't walk over here now because I could do with something now. But anyway, we will start with Kempton and 150. I can see. Look at the graphics ready this week. It's Christmas and all that. The Grade 1 Kauto Star Novice Chase. This is, to me, there's one standout horse in this, but I don't know about you. So we have Chamblou as current favourite. The big breakaway is 11-4. If the cap fits in Rulo, one for the team, Kaluki and Golden Fortune. Andrew, we will start with you. Going through this, is there a standout horse for you in this, or what way are you looking at this?
Yeah, I think it's a hard enough race to get a handle on. Look, I do think probably long term the big breakaway is the best of these. I know they were obviously very disappointed with them last time out at Exeter. I can't back them after that Exeter run personally. I know it wasn't a race that would have suited them, but still getting picked up by Beau Plan, who will be no more than a decent handicap chaser down the line for Evan Williams, I don't think is strong enough form. As I say, he's probably the best long-term prospect out of these, but if I was to pick one, it would be Chamblou. I know it's the top of the market, but he's a good jumper. He ticks a lot of boxes. His run at Wetherby last time, beating Snow Leopardess by, I think, 15 lengths, has been well franked since. She won a nice race around Haydock. If the cap fits, don't think he jumps well enough. Enrillo, I think, has a fair bit to find. One for the team, and Kaluki were both behind Next Destination. I'd have thought, to be honest, they should have been beating Next Destination, given it was his chasing debut, and Golden Fortune not good enough. So, look, if the big breakaway turned out to be as good as some people want him to be, or think he might be, then he probably will win. But I think Chamblou is a pretty safe conveyance. He's a really good jumper, and 15-8's probably not the worst price. I thought he'd actually be a bit shorter.
Yeah, I'm the same. Which I was suspecting Chamblou to be a lot shorter than he was, considering the big breakaways performance the last time. Tom, what do you think?
Look, I agree with everything Andrew said about Chamblou. I can't knock him at all. Some of his novice hurdle form is very smart, and he looks to have taken that step up for jumping even. So, look, I can't knock him at all. I'm going to stick with the big breakaway though, and it's kind of it's almost a heart over head thing. But I'm giving him a chance that he just acted around like he did it a bit at Cheltenham. He acted the absolute Mickey now at Exeter. Like, he just ran around, did nearly every fence. He didn't help Robbie Power at all. They went back to 2 mile free. I said it again. I said it at the time. I just have no idea why they ran him there. His jumping the first day was so good. It's not like he needed a jumping experience. To me, it just made no sense to run him there. He's back up to 3 miles now. I think this will be a more truer run race. I think Kaluki will lead, and there's another couple of them. Chamblou races up the pace as well. I don't think he's going to have to make his own running here, and I think that'll suit Robbie Power if he can get a lead off something, and just get him jumping and travelling. And yeah, he's going to be my selection at 11-4, and we'll see how he goes. But yeah, I don't want to give up on him just yet.
Would Tizzer's form would that still worry you with his horses and even the track, considering he's a kind of big leggy looking yoke? Would that concern you going around Kempton?
The track wouldn't worry me, I don't think, with him, and especially over 3 miles. Yeah, look, Tizzards they're running okay without winning, is what I'd say. He's had plenty of placed horses, and like I'm just looking now, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds in the last 2 weeks. So if 5 of those turned around, he'd have had 7 out of his last 29 winners, and it'd be a different story. So they're not in horrific form.
They're a lot better than they were. A lot better. Like he's like, as you said, the form is coming back. It's not even Tizzard that's put me off him altogether. It's just he's an absolute loony bin. He doesn't have any respect for anyone that's sitting on the back of him. He just doesn't give a shit. He's his own mind. He'll do what he wants. He'll hit a flat spot. He'll jump mental at some stage. He done it at Cheltenham. He done it around Exeter. The 2 mile 3 or whatever it was around Exeter, it still baffles me why they done that. It can't be. I can't do him any good in the world, confidence wise, and to get beat by I can't even remember who beat him.
Bow Plan, I think.
Bow Plan, yeah.
Bow Plan. You can't be getting beat by him, even considering it was over that. You should have the class enough to be going away from him. This revolves around Chamblou. To me, he's 2 for 2 over fences. He's been mighty impressive the last time. He was a decent hurdler. As Andrew said, he was very impressive when beating Snow Leopardess, who subsequently has gone on to win a decent handicap around Haydock. I think he's going to win this and win it by a good 6 to 8 lengths, very impressively. I think the tracks are going to suit him. He'll be up at the pace. He could take it up. His jumper will win it for him. I don't think the big breakaways jumper is that good. If the cap fits jumping, he jumps like a fridge. Inrillo could be the dark horse in it, but he needs to improve again. And then you have one for the team of Kaluki who are behind Next Destination. It's not a substantial race that you'd think what's going to come out and beat him. So I'm very, very sweet on Chamblou for the opening race of the Grade 1 races at Kempton. Yeah. No. Yes. No. Who's on Chamblou? Me and Andrew on Chamblou.
Yeah, no,
I can't knock Chamblou at all. It's literally just a heart thing that I want the big breakaway to, come back. But I cannot knock Chamblou. I probably won't have a bet in the race, to be honest, unless one of them drifts markedly, which I can't really see happening. So
I'd expect him to run a better race than he did at Exeter. But there's this aching feeling in the back of my mind. If he doesn't get close to him, they're going to scrap the RSA and they're going to try up him and trip even further. I could see him running in the 4 mile, whatever the hell it's called, he's 3 mile 6 National Hunt Chase at Cheltenham come March. I think he's tailor-made for it. He's so lazy, and the caliber horses in that you'd expect him to be better than them. So I won't give him a chance in the RSA at all, even if he won this. So it's my thoughts on him. We'll move on swiftly. This won't take long. Grade 1 Christmas Hurdle. We have Epatante, who is 1 to 4, clear favours. Silver Streak 5 to 1, Ballyandy 16s, Flores at 25s, and Diego de Charmel is at 50s. Tom, this is surely a steering job for Aidan Coleman.
Yes, it is. She just jumps so well, this mare. She's just unbelievable, really, and her turn of foot is fantastic. Yeah, I've no reason at all to go against her. She won this last year by 5 lengths, which is kind of when she really cemented her mark on the champion hurdle field. And yeah, I can't see her being beaten. Andrew, who follows her home?
If you're to pin me down to him, maybe Floressa. I think Floressa's probably the pace in the race, but it's good to see Epatante, but this is a listed race but like I know it's a grade 1, but just, like these are not even close to champion hurdle contenders running against her. So we won't learn anything.
It's piss poor when you consider what was entered yesterday and the jockeys that were jocked up. Like Goshen was still in it, and there was one or two more decent horses that were still entered in it. But then you have Silver Streak, who's the only kind of credible challenger to her, who was taken out by that absolutely loony bin, Not So Sleepy, who was it's a little place in my heart now, an absolute fruitcake. And also has a place in Dave's one now that they found it. It's there somewhere. Yeah, well, I think Silver Streak is the obvious one to follow her home. Like, he was second last time before getting taken out at Newcastle. Not second. He won the listed race at Kempton before being second to Song for Someone at Cheltenham. I think he's nailed on to be the forecast, but Jesus Christ, as Andrew said, it's the rest of them are listed horses at best. It's a schooling session.
If I was forced to have a bet, I'd have a few pennies on the Epatante Ballyandy forecast, just because he's 16s and Silver Streak is 5s. I'd maybe have Ballyandy at 10s, I'd say. There's I'm not saying he definitely will, but there's a small chance. If you really want to bet in it, that'd be my bet. But
he's the one that we keep going at the end. He's a tough old fucker. Yeah,
he's just tough. If Silver Streak underperforms, I reckon he could be on to chase her home, but he'll be chasing her home anyway. She'll definitely win, I'd imagine.
Yeah, there's not much point spending much more time on this. No. Move on to one that should take a bit of a time. The King George Chase. We have Clan Des Obeaux is 2-1 favourite. We have Cyrname 11-4. We have Slotini at 6s. Lost in translation 15-2. Real Steel 14s. St. Calvados 14s. Waiting patiently. You will be waiting patiently to see this yoke run. Briny Frost. You don't even have to know the name of the horse. And Black Op. Andrew, what do you make of this absolutely unbelievable race?
Yeah, it's a serious race, and good to see so many of these horses stand their ground as well. Shame we couldn't see Minella in the race. I thought he might have had an each-way chance. He was a horse I backed actually at bigger prices for the race, so it was a bit of a shame. But still could be an absolute burn-up here. I think there's plenty of pace on as well. I think it's a really good race. Oh, geez, I can't get away from Clan Des Obeaux, though I must say, as I say, I think there's plenty of pace on. I know Cyrname took a lead at Weatherby last time out, but he will be handy. You know the way Clan Des Obeaux will be ridden. He'll just be tipping away, jumping nicely in behind all these horses and hopefully coming to swoop late. I'd certainly have him ahead of Cyrname. I don't think... I know a few other people have thought it as well. I thought he had nothing in the tank at Weatherby. I know he wins on the bridle, but you look back at his previous runs, he either wins on the bridle or he doesn't find off the bridle. He's a bit of a Duvan-like character. There wasn't actually that much under the bonnet. He travels so well throughout his races. And also, the bare form of beating Vindication the way he did, considering Vindication made mistakes, I think there's just holes to pick, personally. Santini, I'd have kept the money in the pocket with Santini and not supplemented for him for this. Can't see why they'd do it.
That's an awful decision.
I don't know. I don't know what's happened there. He might run into a place a bit like Native River a few years ago. He might plug on for third. Lost in translation, would take a leap of faith to back him. I think Real Steel might run into a place. I would be. This is where I just don't like, such kind of superstitions with jockeys and certain trainers and stuff like that. I'd be all over Real Steel each way if Brian Hughes was on him. I just think the horse. I watch Brian. I'm probably a bit of a fanboy of Brian Hughes at this stage, but I watch him ride an awful lot in the north of England. He loves these kind of travelly, hold-up horses. He gave this horse an absolute stonker in the Gold Cup. He should have been nowhere close in the Gold Cup, and yet he's there travelling 2 out. If he was on Real Steel, I'd have given him a great chance, but I'm not taking anything away from Daryl Jacob. I know he could do just as good a job, probably, but I probably would just end up having a bet on Clan Des Obeaux and leave the each-way bet, because I suppose if a Lost in Translation got back to form, he could certainly hit the frame, but he's not a horse that's ever really done it for me, and there's too many blips for me to be backing him at 8-1. So Clan Des Obeaux, I know it's a bit boring, but I think everything's in his favour. and hopefully he wins it for the 3rd time in a row.
Do you agree, Tom? Clan for the 3rd time in a row?
This is going to get very boring because I think Andrew's read this perfectly again. And yeah, I agree with pretty much everything that he said about Cyrname. I don't think there was too much left, even though Harry Cobden was just sitting on him last time. This is going to be a proper run 3 mile race, and I think Clan is trained for this. Like, I think especially, okay, so after last year, like, we spoke to Harry Cobden, Andrew, and like, he said, look, he just doesn't act around Cheltenham, does he? Yeah. So if he doesn't act around Cheltenham, you can say, right, we'll go to Aintree, fair enough. But Nichols loves this race. So you can bet your bottom dollar that he has aimed him. Like, this is definitely his target. If not for the season, well, I think for the season, but definitely the first half of the season. As in, if he doesn't win at Aintree, he doesn't win, but he's won another King George. I think he's by far the most solid option. Santini is just too slow, really, isn't he? He's just a bit of a. I don't. Do you know what? I say he's slow. I don't even know who he is. I just think he's a bit of a. You know what
he is? He's a bit of a bitch.
Yeah,
he looks like a man, big, strong 3 mile chaser that just hates going past horses. Yeah. Hates it. He hates noise. He hates jumping. He hates being a racehorse.
After that day in Sandown, when he only just beat Now McGinty, like, he's just a piss taker, basically.
He's an absolute bastard. Excuse the French.
So I can't be backing him. Lost in Translation, I've just never taken to him, and he was tailed last time. Real Steel, yeah, tongue tie first time, 2nd run for poor Nichols. You could give him a chance. Waiting Patiently, you could give him a chance as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the most unconvincing ever.
It's just one of those, you can and you can't. Like, you can say something's going to beat him, but he's one of those. I think he's got no chance every time he runs, and he seems to run a decent race. The one I'll give up each way is St. Calvados.
Oh, thank God.
Is St. Calvados, I think. He's won on every start after a break. He's a high quality horse on his day. It would be a bit of a surprise if he was good enough to go and win this. It would probably be a bit of a surprise if he was good enough to be placed. But I wouldn't be surprised personally if he was. It's just one of those shock results that wouldn't shock me. But Clan Des Obeaux for me is by far the safest bet in this, and I think for me at 2-1, I think he's probably a bet. I'd say I'd have him as more of a 6-4 shot, to be honest.
It's going to be boring as well. I think Clan Des Obeaux is by far going to be the best horse on the day in this race. Like, he loves Kempton. This is going to be his target. He ran an absolute blinder behind Bristol LeMay at Haydock last time out. Cyrname, I can't have him at all. Like, as the two lads were saying, he was absolutely paddling around Wetherby, or wherever it was, Wetherby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was absolutely. He was sitting there, not going for him, because he knew if he went for him, there was nothing there. I still can't have him as the highest rated chaser in the UK at all. So I can't have him at all. I think 11-4 is way too short for him.
Just on Cyrname as well. Another point I left out there was when we spoke to Harry Cobden before the season started. The plan with Cyrname was to run in the JN Wine Chase at Down Royal, and from what he said was that they'd spoken about it and they wanted to get him absolutely drilled as fit as they could at home, and run him in the JN Wine to see for once and for all, does he stay 3 miles?
Yeah.
So he was drilled fit. Don't be fooled there by thinking, oh, he'll just come on for it. From what we were taken from Harry, like, he was very, very fit in his first run of the season. So I think the trip is a question mark, man.
What I can see now, if, say, himself and Clan Des Obeaux come to the last head by head, and two of them land together, by the time they hit the line, there'll be 6 lengths between them. he'll be absolutely crying for his mammy and daddy to take him off the racecourse. He's not.
Here's a quick question for you as well on him. Is Harry Cobden is riding Cyrname and Sam is riding Clan.
Yeah.
Do we reckon, have we heard anything? Like, did Harry Cobden have the choice there?
He 100% did not have the choice. 100. If you look at the interviews he's had to do, and say there's one with Matt Chapman the other day, the body language he was given when Matt Chapman said, I had to pick the wrong one again this year, he went, we'll see. He's 100% Sam's after keeping that ride after last year. Like, Alex Ferguson's a very lying man with jockeys, and he's going to keep him up after winning the last 2 King Georges on him.
Yeah. No, like Harry rode him in the Gold Cup then after Sam had won on him. I was just wondering, like, it's not like it's Sam's ride out and out. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
I get the point where he was riding him at Cheltenham. I think around, now that you say that, it kind of throws me a bit.
I'm just not convinced it's one way or another.
But saying that, right, if you're Harry Cobden and you win that and you suddenly jump ship to Clan Des Obeaux after riding Cyrname last year, would you be kicking yourself?
No, I'd 100% have ridden Clan Des Obeaux if I had the choice every day of the week.
Yeah.
I think there's just certain horses though for certain jockeys, and like I think Harry Cobden's just always going to ride Cyrname because they have it in their head. Now he is obviously rated the top horse in training. He blatantly shouldn't be, but like he's just always going to take that ride, I suspect, whether he had the choice or not. But it seemed even before Weatherby that was going to be the case, and then after Weatherby that just confirmed it.
It's probably the closest thing I can think of it is Ruby and Kauto Star. Ruby would never ever get off the horse no matter what. And I think Harry's the same with Cyrname.
I think as Andrew said, like he does suit Cyrname very, very, very well. So I think that's something to do with it. They will have wanted him on Cyrname, I imagine. Yeah. But yeah, if I had the choice, I'd be on Clan any day. So
I'd be Clan all day, especially around here. Like them, as Andrew said about Santini, that's the biggest waste of money they're ever going to have in their life. What in a million years thinks if they can't win a 3 mile flat race where they took out fences which would have suited him, beaten by Lakeview lad at Aintree, that he's going to win the King George around here where the Bagay Wa beat him as a novice. He's not going to happen. He'll run into third, be unlucky once again. The one horse now, I like Lost in Translation. The only way this horse has a chance of hope in hell of getting close in this, if they ride him on the front and fuck him at his fences. If you go back to his novice days, the time he won around Aintree as a novice, out in front, they absolutely fired him into every fence. And who did he beat? I think they actually beat Clan Des Obeaux. I could be wrong. No,
top of the game.
Top of the game, St. Colours, yeah. He beat top of the game. Then I know he won the Betfair Chase coming from the back, but that was a freak performance. His best attribute is his jumping. Holding it like, I'm going to take it from an interview I heard with Henry. He said, right, if we teach a horse to jump immaculately and they know how to do it properly and they're taking lengths out of the fences, there's a reason we run our horses from the front, because we're taking lengths out of the field. What's the point holding up a horse over that and taking lengths out of the field, then have to pull them back, then taking lengths and pulling them back again? I think leave him out in the front. The holding up tactics didn't work the last day. I'd wipe away that run whatsoever, because that was his first run of the season. Tizzle's horses were running shockingly, and a few of them badly needed a first run. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he hit the frame. I'd have him in front of Cyrname and Santini as in selections. Real Steel, if he's ever going to win over 3 miles, this is the track for him. He, as Andrew said, when Brian Hughes was riding around Cheltenham, he gave me the mother and father of heart attacks at that camera angle coming into the straight. I thought, where did this thing come out of? This is the track for him. If he's ever going to do it, he's going to do it on Sunday. Then we've wait and pace you. I just can't have whatsoever. Throw it on to make the pace. Black Op is jumping is diabolical. Tom, I totally agree with saying Cavlos. He's the each way playing this. He's, as you said, won first time out his whole life. Second in the Ryanair last year. Step up and trip looks like it will suit him. Harry Whitton horses are in form. I think he's a decent price. 16s to 14s, I won't put anyone off back in that. But when it boils down to it, 2-1 at Des Obeaux to me looks a very, very fair price. So he is definitely my selection in this Des Obeaux. 3 for 3.
Have to agree.
On the Clan. Dubai money for Clan. Where are we off to next?
Leopardstown.
Leopardstown, the Grade 1 Racing Post Novice Chase. And we have, if my phone will decide to work, Felix Stagey is favourite at 2 seconds out. I'm just killing airtime here now. Well, I guess
7-4.
Go on, Tom. Do you have him there? Call him out.
I'll read him out now. Yeah, Felix Gestry is favourite 7-4. Blackbow is second in at 7-2, along with Darvis Star. Franco Deport is 6-1. Embittered 15-2, and Ben Rubin is the outsider at 33-1.
So take it away, Tom. What do you fancy?
As a Bookies PR agent doing that, I reckon.
Give me a hello. Give me hello, and welcome back to the finish line. Let's see if I'm sick someday. Can you hold the fort?
Hello and welcome back to the finishing line. That wasn't very good.
No, that was awful.
Yeah, it was. It was.
That was awful.
I was trying to do it like you too much, and I just put too much into it. It needs to be like, hello and welcome back to the finishing line.
That's better.
With me, Tom Rain, and Dave O'Keefe, and Andrew Blair White.
And Dave, if he's still around.
That's a lot better. Thanks.
Yeah, that was good. Hold on. I might be sick next week. Right, anyway, take us through.
Go on. Look, I've nothing against Felix Destry. I was amazed the last time. I turned the race on after they jumped 1 or 2, I think, and he has settled in behind.
I thought he was beat. I like it. Thought he was after spitting the dummy out.
I thought I was seeing things, to be honest. I couldn't believe it. Sizing Patsy has then gone on to frank that form pretty well. Look, nothing against him. I'm just going to take a chance on Blackbow. He was a very, very good bumper horse. He won the Leopardstown bumper at the Dublin Racing Festival and went on to be 5th at Cheltenham. He was a little bit disappointing, to be honest, over hurdles. He's had a bit of time off. He's actually amazing. He's still a maiden over hurdles. It's madness. But he looked very good the last day. He won very easily from Entucas and Deafy Blue. That wasn't bad form, I don't think, at all. He jumped pretty well that day, and yeah, to be honest, I'm going to take at the prices it is. I'm going to take a chance with him.
Who would you like, Andrew?
Well, I think me and Tom are obviously, we wrote the same notes down, I'm afraid. I don't really like Felix Stagey at all. I never have, unfortunately. I think he is obviously a very good horse. He won a Grade 1 as a novice hurdler, but geez, I thought a lot of his novice hurdle form would indicate that at a real top level, he always found 1 or 2 too good. Mm-hmm. I was disappointed in Ergamine got taken out of this race, I must say, because I would have backed Blackbow anyway, and we'd have gotten 6 or 7 to 1 on him instead of 11 to 4. David Mullins on him, I think that's brilliant. David Mullins has a weird knack with some of these horses, especially ones that can go from the front. He gave Blackbow kind of an interesting ride in his beginner's chase. He kept him very wide. It's almost in the car park in the home turn. Won very well, though, jumped really well. I think they were wasting time over hurdles with him last year, to be honest. He always looked like a good chaser. He won on this card, actually, I think 3 years ago. Which I was in attendance there at that, backed him as well. So he always has had a bit of a hold on my heart.
Back in the good old days where we could actually go to races.
Yeah, exactly. Darvis Star is a horse I like, but he jumps like a fridge. Can't have him at all in a 2-mile novice chase. I think the sooner they go back hurdling with him, the better. And the rest, I think Embittered's probably being laid out for a festival handicap. Franco de Port might be interesting. Brian Cooper got a good spin on Tornado Flyer for Willie Mullins in the John Durkin. Probably stranger things have happened. Him running well. They've always thought a fair bit of him, but I think Felix Deji will run well, but I'm hoping that Black Bow can beat him. I think 7-2 is probably the value play in the race as a result.
Yeah, I can't split the two of them. I have a soft spot for Black Bow. He's out there doing me in so many times, it's not even funny. But by God, I was impressed by Felix Deji the last time. For a tearaway that jumped so well and put in one of the most professional performances I've ever seen him put in before, was nice to see. I can't see Dara Star reversing the form whatsoever with him. He's, what, 8-year-old going novice chasing. You know, Faugheen, go back over hers, young lad. Black Bow, very, very good chasing debut around Ace. If it wasn't Ace, whatever it was. The horses he beat are at the Frank the Farm. Like in Tukas was second behind Size and Potsy, and he was second behind Unexpected. Two decent horses. Size and Potsy went down to Frank the Farm, and Size and Potsy was second behind Felix Deji as well. So on that, there's not much between them. You're looking at 7-4 Felix Deji. Probably a bit classier than Black Bow, but then Black Bow could just be wanting the fence his whole life. I find it hard to split. Might probably play with reverse forecast with the two of them. But if Black Bow goes out in front, I think Felix can track him, and then I can think he can just use that speed to get away from him. So, nail to the coffin, Felix Deji for the win, but there's not going to be much between them, I don't think.
No, I'd say that you're right there. I think two pretty good horses. I'd be shocked if either of them really end up being a proper Arkle contender, though, I must say. Yeah,
you think Felix Deji now will come Cheltenham, the kind of, well, there's going to be no one at it, so I was going to say that the bloody crowd and all that will get to him, but you think there's going to be something way classier. I'm like, you have Shiskin, I presume Captain Guinness is going to be better than him. You'd have one or two other ones, but I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I don't know if I'll have a bet now because I can't bloody split the two of them, but I'd be shocked if one of the top two didn't win. Let's put it that way. No,
yeah, I'd take Black Bow anyway.
Two for Black Bow, and I just can't make up my mind. On to what I think is actually one of the best races of Boxing Day is the Faugheen Novice Chase down in Limerick.
You are going to get slated for that. Absolutely annihilated by every Irish fan out there for calling it Boxing Day. I could probably get away with calling it Boxing Day.
Stephen's Day.
However.
I was looking at the app at Paddy Hour app and it said Boxing Day Fancies, and I was like, my bad. I take that back. Stephen's Day. It's always goddamn Stephen's Day. I'm angry at myself now. Stupid. Anyway, the best race on Stephen's Day, which could possibly be, is the Faugheen Novice Chase 2:35 at Limerick. We have a field of Ysterian Phalange is 11-10 favourites, Pensaful led 7-2, Coolreevy is 5s, Judanley is 11-2, and 12-1 Assembly. Andrew, who you fall on this? Would you trust Ysterian Phalange jumping when he comes under pressure, or is there just too much class there?
Yeah, geez, I think, as you said, I think this is a great race. I was surprised Pensaful Ledge is actually running in this race instead of the 3-mile race at Leopardstown, but they obviously thought soft ground 2.5, you could get away with it. Look, at the end of the day, I think Ysterian Phalange is some tool of a horse. For him to do what he did in the Supreme, still finish 4th, had no right to do that. I thought he was really good on his chase debut. I know a lot of people probably, I think, got a little bit overexcited by his mistake at 2 out. Suddenly he can't jump. I couldn't believe it. I thought he jumped super all the way up until then, to be honest. He just knuckled after over jumping at 2 out. He beat Conflated, who's absolutely hacked up since. I think there's an awful lot to like. He's obviously 11-10, and the big thing in itself is that Paul Townend's down there. I saw Willie Mullins has 3, 4, 5 very decent chances at Leopardstown, Black Bow included, 2 very nice horses in the 2 opening maiden hurdles, and and Paul Town down in Limerick. I know it's a Grade 1, but he had the chance between Leopardstown and Limerick. He doesn't have that many rides on the card down in Limerick, and he's backing this horse. I think right hand at 2.5 miles. You can't forget what he did to Easy Work at the Dublin Racing Festival.
Yeah.
Like poor old Easy Work, obviously no longer with us, but he was a serious tool of a horse himself, and he battered him going the wrong way round as well. I can't get that out of my head. He battered Pencil Full of Lead in a maiden hurdle last year at Naas. I just think he's the best horse in this race. I think he's a really, really proper Grade 1 horse, and I hope he does the job at Limerick.
Do you agree, Tom?
I'm just going to check if there's any cameras in my office that can look at my notes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And so much of me wanted to put up Pencil Full of Lead. And I just went back to those 2 races Andrew's just mentioned. I put him up as an anti-post pick for the Supreme last year after he beat Pencil Full of Lead at Navan, wasn't it? Naas, sorry. He absolutely annihilated him. Now, I think Pencil Full of Lead has improved for fences, but he destroyed him. He did the same to Easy Work then, and that was before he lost the absolute plot in the Supreme. And as I said to you, we were on our preview, and we had a few people say, "Oh, he doesn't jump right," and whoever, Paul Town and Roadman, said, "Oh, he was just putting himself right." Bollocks! He does jump right. I was
jump right. He fucking dives right.
I got tricked into
like a suicide bomber.
I got tricked into not believing my own eyes, and that will never happen again. But I agree with Andrew that 2.5 miles right-handed around here is exactly what he wants, and it's the fact that Paul Townend goes down there to ride him. I think he wins, to be honest.
He's a weapon, isn't he? 11 to 10 is huge if you take in consideration who he's coming against.
Paul Townend has 1 ride on Stephen's Daylight.
Yeah. It's a tip in itself. He's 11 to 10 going against a horse that he absolutely battered last year. Fair enough. Pencil Full of Lead probably came on a bit for offence. Coolreevy, very decent mare, bolted up on her chase debut. Is she up to the class of him? Not a chance. Jidanley, very good horse. Not one to be underestimated, but I think he's still short of a steering your flange. Then you've Assembly probably just making up the numbers. If you look back, as Andrew said, back at Cheltenham this year, he done everything he could to take out the rest of the field so he could still jump left and win. He still finished 4th, where he had every right to be pulled up or finished tailed off. There's an absolute unbelievable engine under, but there's very little brains under there as well. That's the problem. I can relate to that. My only concern is a little tiny concern. When he beat Pencil Full of Lead, he didn't come off the bridle. When he beat all the rest of them, he didn't come off the bridle. When he came off, not off the bridle, but under pressure, when he asked for more, when he got asked for more at Cheltenham, he started veering a lot. When he started coming under a bit of pressure at Punchestown, he did start going a bit, where am I going now? Hey, he was make up my mind time. I think Paul just has to make up his own mind for him. Have him on a tight rein on his right hand side to keep him in close to the wings, and just it's like a younger version of York Hill. So talented, but is liable to do anything. Come today, if you 11 to 10, he could absolutely bolt up, and you're sitting there. Jesus, that was the biggest certainty of Stephen's Day. 11 to 10 is, in my opinion, is big for who he's against. They're not Grade 1 horses in behind him. So I think Paul Town on 1 ride down in Limerick, 11 to 10, take it now while you can. This is getting fucking boring.
It's very boring. Where's Dave when you need him?
It's a great, no, he's great. He wouldn't grab him. He's great. He'll be 4 for 4. He'll be 4 for 4. We're all right. I think the forecast is Jidanley. Jidanley will follow him home. That's the forecast. But anyway, hold up now and I turn my book here. We are on to
Sunday. That's one day down.
Jesus. I don't know. See, I don't know what days I have already, and it's not even Christmas yet.
One day down, we're 45 minutes in.
Jesus Christ. Right, we are on to the grade 1 Paddy Power Reward Chase. The Shaka win, lads. Is he as good as we all hope he is, or is Notebook or the redirected Put the Kettle On going to upset the Shakan party? Andrew, what do you think?
I think Shakan's a beast of a horse. I saw some people trying to crab his Cork performance. I'd say he was around 50% fit down there. Still won on the bridle. 1 to 2 is not any type of price. I think he'll win. If I was pressed to have a bet in the race, I would back Notebook in a match race against Put the Kettle On. I think Notebook's a stone better horse than Put the Kettle On. I can't have Put the Kettle On at all for the champion chase. So,
you think he's a stone better than Put the Kettle On?
I think around Leopard. I think he's going to show us as well. I think around Leopardstown, Notebooks are serious too.
He is.
He's just around Cheltenham. He's never going to show it, which is a shame. But good horses like Des Obeaux have. Still win heaps of grade 1s despite not travelling at Cheltenham. So I think Shakan will win, and I think Notebook will chase him home.
Tom, your thoughts?
I've done it again. Just a joke. Can you let me go first on one of them, just so we prove that?
He did, and then I had to say it.
Hold up, I'm ringing Dave. Dave, what do you think?
Dave on death's door.
Yeah.
Shakan!
Look, Shakan, I think, when he turns up, he got beat by a Plutard last year. And I don't think he was fit at all. I was at the Dublin Racing Festival when he beat me in, and I thought that was a phenomenal performance. Unfortunately, he didn't make Cheltenham then, but no, I think he just turns up and he wins, to be honest. I think he's better than the 2 in behind. Now, I love Put the Kettle On, and I would give her a chance of being placed in the champion chase, definitely. However, I think her form around Ireland is nowhere near as good as those last 3 runs at Cheltenham. And I don't think that's a coincidence. Some horses can go to Cheltenham. It's like going for a weekend away or something. It just perks you up, and it just perks the horses up as well. Don't smile, Andrew.
What? I'm not going to say that. Is that what happened the last time, was it? Hey, yeah, dirty, okay. No wonder he's been great form the last 2 weeks. I'm going away for our meal tasting for the wedding. Sorry, what were you saying, Tom?
She'll kill you if she watches this.
Afternoon, Siobhan.
But yeah, I think around Leopardstown, I think Notebook will be better than her. And if you can get even money each of 2 in a match bet, I would take that rather than Shakan at 1 to 2. But I think they'll be chasing Shakan home, definitely.
Yeah, I think Shakan whoops him. Like as Andrew said, people are crabbing his run at Cork. That was a day away, a little schooling session. He was as big as his bull. He sprinted away from the last, and he took a huge blow after the race. So, like, he's going to come on leaps and bounds. 1 to 2, yeah. Look, it is what it is. Sit back and watch it. I think what the lads said might be a decent bet. Notebook to beat Put the Kettle On. His form around Leopardstown alone is phenomenal. He beat who did he beat last year? Fakir Dudari. Beat Fakir Dudari and Cashback. Remember him? Absolutely loony bin. Tried to kill himself again at Cork. If he was in this race, the bet in the race would be Cashback to fall. Anyway, back to thing.
You can do that anyway.
I know.
But like someone's done the bookies when a horse comes to last and they're on the 1 in second, they're like, fall. You just want to turn over and box someone.
Yeah, it might happen though if you're on Cashback.
Has that never been your reaction? You're just like, mate, get out, will you?
Yeah, that might have been me. Say, please fall.
Yeah, I knew I recognized you from somewhere.
Fucking cunt. But anyway, let's not get into that.
Just on one in this is Larichberg. I put him up as an outsider for the champion chase. like we didn't see anything that he did, but he pulled up a long way out. So hopefully he comes on from that run. I'm not.
He had a blow down the back straight after jumping the final two before they came into view. Decent jumps.
Yeah, apparently so. But no, hopefully
that race should have never went ahead.
No, true. No, it shouldn't have. Been. Yeah, hopefully he shows a bit of his old form, but jury's out on him.
Yeah. I think Notebook is forecasts. Like even last year at the Dublin Racing Festival, he went off to Dundrum for a coffee and came back and still won. So I think it's himself and Shakan 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just genuinely hopes he comes along and absolutely bombs him away and just beats him by a mile, and then just becomes proper what everyone says he is.
I think it'd be good for the game if he did, if he went and smashed these. And people will probably think I have a vendetta against Put the Kettle On. Honestly, I don't. But I saw her at Wexford one year getting beaten by 12 lengths by Mr. Blue Sky, and ever since, she cannot win a championship. I'm sorry.
He's a decent horse, though.
Like, he's rated 130.
He's useless. Oh. No, but I think she just turns herself inside out when she hits Cheltenham.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Right. I think that's hence the reason she wasn't entered here until they couldn't travel. I think she just loves travelling out of Ireland for some reason. But anyway, moving on to matters at hand is Leopardstown 145, the same day, the future champion Novice Chase. I have a feeling you're going to say the same horses again. We have Appreciated Ascend to 4, Ballyadam at 15.8, Kesconrick at 32, Fire Attack 9s, Call Me Lauren at 10s, the Devil's Coachman 11s, Ngolo 14s, and 33-1 Bigger Arrest. Tom, dare I say you're not going to back Ballyadam?
From me, right? I think this is nearly
going against them.
No, I'm not. This is the race of Christmas for me. I think this is an unbelievable race. You could literally go down. Ngolo is 14-1. Like
I know.
Sums everything up in this. Appreciate It looked fantastic the day he won. Ballyadam has looked very good as well. I think he needs to jump a bit better, but by God, he could quicken up. I put Kesconrick up the other day as one to follow. He is a big, raw baby of a horse. This may be a little bit too soon, but I think he is a lovely, lovely horse. He's got a massive engine, that lad. Fire Attack then is another one. Call Me Lauren is definitely called Call Me Lyrene. And I think has just shocked the Gordon Elliott team every time he's run.
Who cares?
Won a Tremor maiden hurdle first time and went off 4-1 for it. That was in September, and by December now finds himself in a grade 1. I just don't. I actually backed it then the next time at Sligo, 100-30. Like, you know, there's no way if that horse showed at home what it shows on the track that it would be going off those prices. Just not one to rule out. The Devil's Coachman was very impressive as well on his 2 starts. It's a cracking race. It's a fantastic race. I'm not going to have a bet in it. For obvious reasons, I really hope Ballyadam goes and wins because we've got him up at the supreme top of the market for that as an anti-post tip at a wild price. So look, I hope Ballyadam, but I'm happy to sit back and watch, and I really am looking forward to this. I think it's one of the best races of Christmas.
Who are you nailing your colours, Andrew?
Yeah, geez, at the start of the year, I'd have been all for Ballyadam. I think overall I was disappointed with him at Fairyhouse. I know he quickened up well. Just the jumping leaves an awful lot to be desired. It has to get an awful lot better. On the other hand, Appreciated jumped like a seasoned handicapper down in Cork. I know people tried to throw a bit of salt on that form. Only beating a horse 2.5 lengths now is the coziest 2.5 lengths you'll ever see. And that horse won a maiden hurdle, Master McShee, by 12 lengths next time out. So the form isn't too bad. Over 2 miles, maybe he's a little bit vulnerable, but Geez, he showed gears when he won the Grade 2 at the Dublin Race Festival last year. I can't have this horse being slow. I see some people think he's going to run the Albert Bartlett. Like, that's absolute bollocks. Like, he's got a lot of gears. Like, absolute bollocks.
I get called out on my own show. This is bollocks. Getting called out on my own show.
Throw that slip in the bin. Like, he's not running. Like, if he was running in the Albert Bartlett, why is he running in the Grade 1 2-mile race at Christmas?
Shut up, Andrew. Get on with it.
I'm sorry.
It's like having Dave just abusing me again.
Throw that slip in the bin is one of the best lines I've heard on this show.
I think appreciated. I think he's probably worth a bet at 7-4, although it is a strong race. One, if you wanted one at a bigger price, I'd give a strong mention to his Fire Attack. Only got caught late on by Fakira. It was a very strong stayer over 2.5 on Herd and Stable. Had no right to finish as close as he did. Pulled all the way. I think it dropped back to 2 miles with Suit. Done a miler's had a few winners for Joseph O'Brien over the last few weeks, which is good. I think he's a good price at 9-1. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he reaches the frame, but this is a seriously good race. I'd echo what Tom's saying. To get a Grade 1 at Christmas time, novice hurdle wise, where you've got 4, 5, 6 horses that potentially are Grade 1 horses going forward, I think is pretty special. And it's probably one, if anything, to just sit back and look at and hopefully garner a few clues. I suppose, in theory, you could have the Supreme and the Ballymore winner running in the same race.
And the Albert Bartlett.
You're going to tell me N'Golo's the Supreme winner?
It's because he is.
I'll give you more with that than appreciated in the Bartlett.
Appreciate it, right? He's running a mile on he needs to go up a mile. He doesn't. He's 2.5 miler. Look, I was clutching at straws that Cheltenham Festival Andy Post video. I didn't know what to put up and he just came to my head. I wasn't going to put him up in the Ballymore because Bob Ollinger was going to win it anyway. It's a different story. But anyway, Ballyadam, look, yeah, decent horse, don't like him. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm nothing against him, I just don't like him. He doesn't do anything for me. Keskenrick, as Tom said, I think he's going to be too much of a baby going into this. I think he'll come on leaps and bounds forward, and he's probably one to definitely keep on the right side of. Look, N'Golo's the bet in this. I don't care what anyone says. They need to change. They need to get him up with the pace. He pulls too hard. Like, if he got a better run and he was not stuck on the rail, he's 2 lengths to find with Ballyadam, and one is 15-8 and one is 14-1. It's a no-brainer for me. 14-1 each way. There's a lot to like about him. Yeah, he probably looks like he needs further, but if they change up the tactics, put him closer to the pace, don't box him in, leave him use his stride. He jumps very well, and leave him bowl along. I think he could cause a shock of 14-1. But Jesus, it's an unbelievable race. Any one of the top 10 could win it. It's a sit back, relax, and if you're having a bet, just go with your gut, because anything could win it, really. Like, Appreciated is a serious horse. He, as Andrew said, showed serious gears when he won the Grade 2 bumper at the Dublin Race Festival. Ballyadam, as everyone knows, Jamie Codd got off him and said, this is the best horse I've ever ridden. Call me Lauren. I'm going to call her Lauren anyway. Just the night, Tom. She won a maiden hurdle at the Playground of Champions out in good old Tremor. Look, there's a lot of good horses in it. It's going to kind of sort out the novice division in Ireland come after this, so you kind of know who's going where. But for me, the bet is definitely N'Golo, 14-1 each way. But it wouldn't surprise me if any of the top 10 won. Let's be honest. Yeah, so moving on. Who are you on again before we go ahead?
I'm going to stick with Ballyadam.
Good lad.
I'll be Appreciated with Fire Attack each way.
Do you know what I just noticed, Tom? Where's the green screen? Where's the green screen? Where's the bricks?
Over there.
God.
Yeah, look, I need to get it fixed, okay? I'm going to get it fixed properly. Siobhan has got these wild... I said, after it went wrong, I said, right, that's fucked. I'm throwing that down there.
One chance gone.
And Siobhan's the technological person in our house. She's the one who fixes the skybox. She's the one who fixes the Wi-Fi. And she's like, no, I've got this idea. This can work. So if it comes back, it's thanks to her. As far as I'm concerned, it's staying on the floor.
Disappointed. Anyway, moving on to Roaring Bull race. Leopardstown 255, the Paddy Power Handicap Chase. The compressed handicap. Is it only me or does anyone else absolutely love this race?
I do, because I really think I've got the winner. I'm just buggered I've missed the price.
Go on.
I think Home by the Lee is a steering job.
Robbing it on me.
When I looked at this race a few hours ago, this betting was completely different.
He was 12 when I was looking at it.
Yeah, that was today, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was at 5:30.
Yeah, he was 12-1, and I was like, "Oh my god, this thing is a certainty!" Like, yeah, unexposed, completely unexposed novice chaser. His first two starts over fences, and was then third behind Boy Allen. Looks to all the world like he just wants to step up to 3 miles all the time. Is in off 139, and I reckon he could be thrown in off that. Was second in a maiden hurdle behind Tiger Tap Tap. Was then won a maiden hurdle well at Ferry House. Was thrown into the Grade 1 and just bombed out at Leopardstown at the Dublin Racing Festival, and then unseated rider at Furthest, but has shown completely improved form now this year. Crying out for this step up and trip, and yeah, I'm really strong on him.
What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, well, I think it's possibly one of the this Castlebone West has to go down as one of the worst favourites in Paddy Power history. I cannot understand how on earth one would back him at top weight. 2 runs over 3 miles has shown that he doesn't get 3 miles.
Correct.
I thought actually, I thought I was going to plan that line earlier with On the Ropes as well. I thought he was a brutal price as well for a horse that had 1 good run in a beginner's chase, but he's obviously not made the race. Look, I couldn't put you off Home by the Lee. He seems to have a lot going for him. I'm just not a massive fan of just really unexposed novices in these big handicaps, just jumping wise. Something may happen. I know there was a Henry Bromhead horse that ran in the Munster National, I think, that was really well back. Walk Away, was it? Who had an awful lot of, unexposed novice chase form, and then he falls halfway down the back at a short price. So, as Tom said,
bad memories, Tom. That's bad memories for Tom, right there.
Put him up at a lot bigger than he went off, and backed him myself.
Yeah. Well, he was. Well, everyone's idea seemingly of the winner by post time. I'd probably go for 2 who are slightly bit more experienced. I've always thought this Captain CJ has one of these big handicaps in him. Probably will back him at 10-1. If I'm being brutally honest, I prefer a different jockey on him than Conor Maxwell, but it is what it is. He came 3rd in the Porterstown last time out. He won the 10 up last year. He only finished a length and a half by Minella Indo in a beginners. That form is up there with the best you're going to find in a race like this. Grade 2 winner. I think he's got a chance. And I'd prefer if Paul Nolan's horses were in better nick, but like Fitzhenry's a pretty solid stick in this race. If you're going to get 5-6 places, 14-1, I think he would place. As I say, this is his Gold Cup. He's come 3rd, 2nd the last 2 years. He's vulnerable win-wise because he's an absolute monkey of a horse. And I'd be a little bit concerned that all his best runs were with Barry Geraghty on him. Barry, I think, was a little bit underrated with those sort of tricky rides, especially in these big field races. I wouldn't have maybe quite the same confidence with Jody McGarvey as I would with him, but the horse has the ability to run well off this mark. He's the ability to run close. If there's something like Home by the Lee, if he gets it all right, yes, he'd beat Fitzhenry, but Fitzhenry's a solid enough each way play. I'd be really surprised if he wasn't in the first 5 or 6.
What do you make of John Joe O'Neill's horse coming over, Lock's Corner?
He's a horse I like a lot, actually. I've backed him once or twice over in England, and he's done very well. Slightly reserved about it. You know, he's obviously unexposed at 3 miles. Does he really want 3 miles at Leopardstown? I'm not sure, but you know, I suspect John Joe's not bringing him over just for the good of his health. So he'd have to have a chance.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to echo what Tom said with Home by the Lee. I think this lad could be chucked in. He was a decent hurdler. His 2 wins over fences were quite good. He came from a long way back at Cork to get up. I think he's crying out for 3 miles. I think he's my idea of the winner. But when I was looking at it, I had a nail down to 3. It was Home by the Lee, as Andrew said as well, Captain CJ. He definitely has one of these in him, but I don't know. I think Home by the Lee might be better treated and have more improvement to come out of him. It was like his second to Minella Indo is looking unbelievable right now, and he's had experience this season in big field handicaps. And the other one was Dunvegan at 12 to 1. He has one of these in him as well. He's a very decent horse. He ran some good races over hurdles. I think he's best when he's put out front. He flew home over 2 mile forward the last time. Step up 3 mile, I think, is right up his alley over fences. I think to keep him out of trouble, keep him out up front, he could cause a shock. He's 12 to 1, like, but I think in hand of heart, I think the 3 of them are the horses to concentrate on. But I think when it comes down to the finish, I think Home by the Lee will just be putting out a bit more to win it all. I think Discortly shouldn't be discounted as well. I think he done a bit too much last time out. Jessica Harrington's horse in the Tri-Town, I think the one that Roland McAnally's
pajama.
Yeah, let's not get into how this thing won by half the track, and then look at that, he suddenly can't run anymore. Shock. Anyway, Tom, you know. But when it comes down to it, I think Home by the Lee. Look, I'm same as Tom McCracken. I missed 12 to 1.5 5 today. Hopefully he'll drift on the day. I'll wait till the day to back him, but I think he's one of my big plays for the weekend. So I'll have a nice little bet on him. Anything else at a bigger price, Tom? You love bigger prices than these things.
No, to be honest, I saw Home by the Lee, scrolled down, just saw exposed handicapper, and carried on. Captain CJ is the one. I backed him last time, and it's interesting to see the tongue tie on him. He ran like a horse who maybe needed a tongue tie. So, yeah, he is the other one, and he's unexposed. So, yeah, I'll stick with those 2.
Right, move on to this. Won't take long. Over to Kempton 120, the Grade 2 Wayward Lad Chase. Andrew, this must be just little exhibition round for Shiskin before he moves on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, exactly. No more else to say, really. I'd say he'll only face 2 or 3 others. Would like to see Quick Grab him run a decent race, just from ex-Willie Mullen's horse perspective, but he won't get near this Shishkin. And he'll win. No more else to say.
Tom, same thing.
Yeah, Arkle winner in my book. I think he's one of the most exciting horses in training. I really, really do believe he's a very, very, very top class horse.
Yeah, I agree. So there's not much time spent on this. Shiskin.
Move on.
Pisses up. Get the distance betting out, lads. Don't. That's the worst bet in the world. Yeah, hate them distance bets. Moving on to the slog in Wales. The Chepstow 320-250. Welsh Grand National. I'm not even going to go well, I will. We have Secret Reprieve a 7-2 favourite. That's very short. Springfield Fox is 7. His price is gone. Yalenki, Truckers Lodge, 2 Amigos, Christmas in April, Ramsey the Tay, Dominator, Bobo Mac, Captain Duke, and Bigger the rest. Andrew, if you can find the winner of this, fair play to you.
Yeah, another one of these races. Geez, tying with Castlebone West for worst price of the week. This Secret Reprieve at 7-2.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, I think it's absolute bollocks as well. He's won one race at Chepstow, which was a fairly measly race at that. I know it was the trial for this race, but it wasn't a great renewal. His form up until that would have no consequence of him being 7-2, so I cannot understand it. And also, I know there's just certain trainers that just don't do it for me, and Evan Williams would be top of that list, I must say. The amount of money that the Rookers put into the game, and he gives them handicappers rather than grade 1 horses. That's just my view on it. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but just... I think
you don't hear this in Race Essential, do you?
I've met him a few times. I can say he is a nice guy, yeah.
But the Rookers need to pack it in and go to somebody else that actually might get them a grade.
For the amount of money they have, and they're sticking their horses to Evan Williams, somebody have a word with him, please. Not against Evan Williams.
He's not that bad now. There's people spend money with much worse trainers than Evan Williams.
Yeah, no, I do. No, I do understand that. Like he is obviously not a bad trainer or anything like that. But like I'd give that, Tom. I know you're quite sweet on that Stargate. If he was trained by anyone else, I'd give him a huge chance for the Ballymore. There is not a Scooby Doo's chance he wins the Ballymore with him training.
He looks like an aeroplane for them, to be fair. I reckon he's an aeroplane anyway.
Yeah. Jeez, if only we knew what Paul Nichols might do with them or somebody useful. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've been really sweet on a horse for this for quite a while. Oliver Sherwood's horse, Dominator.
For fuck's sake, Andrew, come on.
You're joking me.
I've backed him.
How many runners are in this? 20 runners.
It's like 60 and 2 of you on the same fucking horse.
To be fair, I put this up on Twitter around a week ago, so I haven't taken Tom's notes on this one. I've backed him at 25-1 for this race. I know that's seriously terrible after timing. If this horse jumps well, he has the tendency to make the odd bad mistake. If he jumps well, he will be bang there. He's much better than 141. Loves Chepstow. Loves heavy ground. I think there's an awful lot going for him. I think he's still worth a bet at 12-1 as well. I'll probably be topping up.
Tom, who are you putting up?
Yeah, I agree with Andrew as well. I think he's still a fair price at 12. Fair play if you got 25s and put him up. That's a great shout. His form around Chepstow is very good. He's won 2 races around there, and he's been placed in his other 2 runs. He had a pipe opener behind Pim, and what was the other horse? If the Cap Fits in a listed race. He needs to jump a little bit better. But if he can get into that rhythm around Chepstow, he stays very well as well in my book. And he's a lovely weight of 10 stone 8. And yeah, he's a bet for me.
My one in this, and look, the price has gone. I was looking at him the other day, and it was 14-1. Is Springfield Fox. He a notoriously very, very good jumper. Loves heavy ground. The softer it is, the better for him. He absolutely pissed up around Chepstow on his chase debut last year. He's had a pipe opener 2 weeks ago over hurdles. I think this is tailor made from James Bowen is on top of him. I rate him highly as a jockey for chasing types. He gives him all the confidence in the world, and he's very good over a fence. He's carrying 10 stone 9, but I think he'll jump him silly around here. He's form around there. He's 7-1 is not tempting anymore, but look, I'm going to back him anyway. Hopefully he'll drift on the day. I think everything is in his favour. He's after having a run under his belt over hurdles. Mark is unchanged. Yes, he was unsuited going around Cheltenham. I think back to this track will suit him down to the ground. I'm expecting a huge run out of him. He'll be my idea, the winner. Secret Reprieve. Guarantee on the day I get 6-1. There's not a hope in hell he's going to stay 7-2. If you fancy him in the slightest, don't go near him until then. It's the biggest false favourite of this you'll ever see. Trucker's Lodge would be interesting, but I think he's gone up too much in the weights. He was second in it last year. Very good horse. for these races. I think the weights are gone against him. Christopher Staple is another one who just loves these kind of races, but I think he'd be found out in this class. I really like the horse, but he was second last time, I think, around Fontwell or somewhere. But I think he'd be found out. I don't know much about Dominator now, being honest, until you're talking about it. I haven't really looked at it, so I can't see anything about him. But when you go down through it, who at a bigger price would you put up? There's the one who I wouldn't put past on a huge race, who pops up every now and then, is the Hollow Ginge. He relishes these conditions, so the money's come from, like, he's 50s into 16 to 1. The price is definitely gone, but if you fancied an each way bet, he'd be one that'll definitely go in conditions. But my strong fancy is Springfield Fox, and has been for the last few weeks, so I'm not going to deter myself from backing them now. But anything can win it, genuinely. Any bigger prices who you throw in each way?
I've had a hard on for this Dominator now for the last week or two, so
I like it.
Probably fall at the first now that I've said it all. But anyway,
I just want to see what he does if he wins. If you have a hard on from now,
another video of me kind of half screeching, half voice breaking, that sort of stuff.
That has to be done. If 3 out of these in contention, get the phone out. I want to see this. It's the on you beauty gets me every single time. Every time it gets me.
But it's always the one that's always the line that gets the voice to break for no reason whatsoever. Like,
it's the best moment you just open the window and you start shouting out in the street.
To be fair, I put up album photo 33-1. Like,
so did I. Great minds think alike.
Yeah, exactly. Where were you on the street? I was shouting.
I was on the ground getting picked up by Dave. I couldn't believe it. All right. We move on to Leopardstown. And one of Tom's huge fancy this season is currently 7-4 favourite for the Grade 1 Leopardstown Christmas Hurdle over 3 miles, which is Sire de Burley. We have Fury Road at 11-4, Ronald Pump at 4s, 6 Shooter 14s, Backerson 16s, and bigger the rest. Tom, we start with you with Sire de Burley. Is this the day he really stamps his mark coming into the Stayers Hurdle Division, where he finishes second or third behind Paisley Park?
Just before we jump on to my love, SDB.
You didn't just put her into SDB, for fuck's sake.
SDB? Everyone loves SDB.
It's like Big Gordy. Oh, Jesus.
Big G.
Big G.
Big G and SDB. Could be a rapper.
You'd be calling Hemi de Brahman Hey DB next.
Hey DB. Hasn't got the same ring to it as SDB. Anyway.
I'm just glad you're not saying STD.
It's like
moving on swiftly. And credibility gone.
Yeah, your credibility is gone because did you?
I had none. Who knows? I had none.
Did you skip Altior on purpose at Kempton?
Did I skip Altior? I knew I was missing one. Sorry.
Anyway, Altior wins that race. If anyone thinks differently, just say now. No.
Yeah, Altior wins.
Fine. Yeah, look, Sire de Burley, I'm sticking with him. I haven't seen anything to put me off yet. I know you are all over bloody Ronald Pump and you think he'd have beaten him last time. I don't for a minute. I think that was too short of a trip for Sire de Burley. Mark Walsh said it took him the whole straight to get going. And that was his first one of the season. I think he wins this, lads.
You in the Sire de Burley camp or the SDB, should I say, Andrew?
No, not. I'd be with you on.
Why a race, but I don't agree.
I'd be with you on Ronald Pump. Look, he's a bit of a cliff horse for me, I must say. But if you take that form with Honeysuckle at any sort of face value, it has to have a knocking chance in this. 4-1, I think he's a decent price. Fury Road's a lovely horse. Couldn't have him around Leopardstown in a fit, though. Got beaten 20 lengths in a bumper by Exit Pole and Two Shoe Tom 2 years ago. They're both 120 horses now and was well beaten in the Novice Hurdle at the Dublin Racing Festival as well. So considering he's altogether a very consistent horse, those two outliers of his form would put me off. I think he doesn't like Leopardstown that much. Ronald Pump does like Leopardstown. held up late run. Don't know with Sire de Burley. He's the obvious big danger in the race. I don't think anything else gets into it personally. I think hopefully Ronald Pump might stalk Sire de Burley and get him on the run in. I think Ronald Pump's probably a horse that's getting a little bit overlooked for the Stayers Hurdle, considering he ran such a good race in it last year when things probably didn't go quite to plan also. So probably I'd have it between the two. Would go with Ronald Pump at the prices though.
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of it. I was looking at it all this afternoon. I was thinking Sire de Burley, yeah, won very well last time, stepping up and trip, stays the trip anyway. Fury Road, if you take his form in the Albert Bartlett, he's probably head and shoulders above him. But as you said, Leopardstown, he hasn't shown nothing around there yet. Do you want to back him at 11-4? Don't know. Roland Pump, second behind Honeysuckle. How much literally do you take that? So I genuinely don't know what way to look at it. Going on Albert Bartlett form, if he decided he's at the grown up a bit and he turns up, I think Fury Road beats him. But then there's the back of the mind of Leopardstown. Does he like it? Doesn't he like it? Sire de Burley, I think the further he was going, the further he was going to win by. I think he's the right favourite. He's the obvious right favourite right now. But I would take a chance for Fury Road. I think there's the class angle and I just can't get that Albert Bartlett form out of my head. There's so many good horses. Them top four especially, like Time Hill ran Paisley Park to a snot the other day. You've Monkfish, who absolutely hacked up on his chase debut. You've Lated Exhibition, who when we get onto it, I think is the biggest each way certainty of the weekend. But probably the price after changes since we looked at this. But I take a chance on it. I don't know if I probably won't back in this race. It's not really standing out to me. It's not standing out to me. I won't back in it. But if I was to back something, it would be Fury Road. But I wouldn't put anyone off Sire de Burley or Roland Pump. At the price that between the two, Roland Pump and Sire de Burley, I'd probably put Roland Pump. But look, I could put the three of them up, but I don't know which one I'd go for at the end. So listen to Andrew or Tom, because I haven't a clue what to do with this one.
Yeah, I'd take Sire de Burley anyway. But I can see your cases for Ronald Pump, but I'm sticking with Sire de Burley. It's a bit like Ballyadam. I'm just sticking with him now. There's no reason not to. So
now this is where we get, as Tom would say. Oh no, Tom. Who says Jiggy? Dave says it. Right. The Savage Chase. Probably one of the best races of the week. We've Minella Indo presenting Percy, Delta Work, Kemboy, Aplutard, Alaho, Monolith, to name a few. Tom, take it away with you. Minella Indo, who we think is the main danger to album photo this season. Do you think he's going to beat the beloved Percy bandwagon?
These are the two horses that I've put up on the show for the Gold Cup, presenting Percy and Minella Indo. And as long as they finish first and second, I'm not bothered what to order. And I think there's half a chance they could. It's a cracking race.
Sitting on the fence again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a Plutard up in Trip. That's going to be interesting. But
that doesn't stay.
Yeah, I don't know. More interesting than backable at 7-1 anyway. Kemboy, yeah, you can keep Kemboy for me. Delta Work is always going to run his race in these races. But I think it's between the top three.
Which one? Get there. Come on.
Oh, I'm going to go Minella Indo.
There you go. That's more like it. Andrew, who are you going with?
Well, if we're all sitting on the fence, geez, it's between one of the 20 decks. For one of them may win. Like, look, I've been pretty sweet for a long time now on Delta Work for this race. I see William Hill are 5-1 for him. I just think you were saying about latest exhibition maybe being an each way certainty. I think 5-1 Delta Work is. Like, it wouldn't really be an each-way price for me, but I think it's as good an each-way price as you're going to get throughout all the Christmas racing. There's just not a hope he comes out of the first three. And I think he probably... I'd be afraid of Minella Indo. I think he is a very good horse. He's a very upwardly progressive horse. I'd be a little bit concerned. He has just won 2 egg and spoon races this year. People have made an awful lot of it. I'd be more taking his last year's form in the.
He's talking about you now, Tom. Just remember that now. He's talking about you, Tom.
Presenting Percy, look, he probably proved me a bit wrong at Thurles, but he beat Kemboy, who can't jump a twig anymore, seemingly. Probably couldn't. I just think Delta Work's a better bet at 5-1 than presenting Percy at 4-1. I think Delta Work will reverse that form from Down Royal. He ran a much better race in Down Royal this year than he did last year. He still won this race last year when beating Monolith. Probably doesn't act at his best around Cheltenham, but he certainly acts his best around Leopardstown. He's 3 from 3 over course and distance on the chase course. Goes on any ground at Leopardstown. He's 5-1. Like, he just doesn't finish out of the frame. If any horse beats him, it's Minella Indo. I think he comes first or second, though, and the only horse he gets beaten by is Minella Indo, personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with Delta Work around Leopardstown at all. I think this is his proper Gold Cup, because I think Cheltenham finds him out the undulations of around there, where he has to kind of the jumping gets found out around there. But yeah, 5-1 each way. He's definitely going. To me, he's definitely going to be in the top 3. Like presenting Percy, he has to show and follow it up again. Yes, it was good, but he beat Kemboy and Monolith, whom they were out for a fitness test, where presenting Percy had race fitness under his belt. That was his day to do it. Kemboy, as you said, he's just literally at the forgetting how to jump a fence. He's gone cash. Plutard, not convinced he'll stay. He ran over 3 miles at Punchestown when he got absolutely slammed by Delta Work as a novice. I don't think Allaho will run. Monolith could sneak into a place, but I think this is Minella Indo's all day long. I think he's after becoming a man this season. Yes, he beat absolutely nothing this season, but it's the way he's doing it. He's doing it like a proper horse. I think he'll get a nice toe into the race. It'll be a decent pace. Kemboy probably will make it. Delta Work will be up there. I think Rachel is sitting about 4th or 5th, coming in for a home. She'll take him out, and I think he'll go away, and he'll be up joint favourite with Album Photo after this for the Gold Cup. I'm convinced he's going to not hack up, but he's going to win and win very impressively. I really like him. I've liked him all the time since he's a hurdler, but I think he's grown up. I think this is his year. If he's ever going to win a Gold Cup or go close, he has all the credentials to do it. So I'm really looking forward to the race, though. Delta Work is definitely looking at it there. Definitely a top 3 contender for sure. The each way value is there. So that's a Tom bet.
It is a little bit, although Tom would put him up at 5-2 each way. So,
okay. Oh, poor Tom. It was I got it first. Now you're getting it.
I'm going to stick again. It's like Sorry to Burley and Ballyadam. There's no reason for me to go against the top 2, but Delta Work loves Leopardstown. He's fantastic round there, and 5-1 is a cracking bet each way in my book as well.
Look, I'm going to turn into Tom bet in the next race anyway, so what harm? I'm Minella Indo all day in this. I'm really looking forward to him. Right, second last race. The Grey Moon Neville Hotels Novice Chase. Monkfish is currently 8-13 on favourites. Conflated 10-3. Leia's Exhibition is 9-2. Pensful Lead is 10, so he's not running here. Eurobor 12. Colreevy's not running either. And Bigger Arrest. Andrew, do you think Monkfish is I say second coming? He's going to be the third coming because Anne Allen's the second coming. Do you think he's the third coming?
He wouldn't be far off, to be fair. He's done nothing that you could crab him for. He was brilliant last year in the Bartlett. That, as you were saying earlier, that form looks rock solid. He was foot perfect on his chase debut. Look, I know you're probably going to say it more in depth, but I'm probably Paul Nolan's biggest fan. How on earth Leia's Exhibition's a bigger price than Conflated is one of life's great mysteries. And the fact even the Monkfish is 8-13, Leia's Exhibition is 9-2. He beat him a flared nostril in the Bartlett, and to be honest, if you look at the head-on, was maybe a little bit hard done by not to even get a steward's inquiry out of it. Certainly with some of the jostling going down to the last. I know he was maybe a little bit disappointing in the Florida Pearl, but his chase debut was very good. He still jumped well in the Florida Pearl. I just think he needs a proper 3-mile test. Softer the better as well. He seems to like Leopardstown. Paul Nolan's horses could be in better form. Obviously, he hasn't, I don't think, had a winner for a few weeks now, which is a bit of a concern. But he's got good chances throughout the week. Down in Limerick, he's got Toucanai, socially distant. He's got Camino, Fitzhenry throughout the week. So if he's had a winner or two, you know, that suddenly goes out the bin as well. I just think, like, yes, probably he is vulnerable to Monkfish, but I just think he eats Conflated. Like, I can't have Conflated as a Grade 1 horse at all. And Latest Exhibition is a Grade 1 horse. So he would be the horse I'd back. And I think he's got a bigger chance of causing an upset to Monkfish than maybe some people are thinking he does. I think there's still an awful lot of untapped potential at 3 miles over fences with this horse.
You think the same, Tom?
Similarly, I'd say. Yeah. Like, he beat Latest Exhibition, beat Conflated at Navan in his novice days by 6 3/4 lengths pretty handily. It's the poor Nolan form just puts me off. He's just been in bad form all season, pretty much. An excellent trainer. I'm sure he'll come out of it, no doubt at all. But just at the minute, for betting purposes, I wouldn't back him. Look, Monkfish is plenty short, but I think he'll beat him.
Yeah, I think Monkfish is definitely the winner. I think he's definitely going to be the better chaser, no matter what they done over hurdles. Like, I backed Latest Exhibition this time last year and in the Albert Bartlett. Was what Monkfish done in the Albert Bartlett after getting headed and the power he showed going through, and then his chase debut was foot perfect. It was unbelievably good, and that was a decent field. He beat what in a load of rags he was beating. I think 8 to 13. You don't want to be back novice chaser at 8 to 13 because anything could still happen. But the bet in this to me is Latest Exhibition 9 to 2 each way. It's ridiculous price. Paul Malone form, yes, it's not been great. But I think and 90% like form-wise, Latest Exhibition beats Conflated easy. I think barring accidents, Monkfish wins, but I think Latest Exhibition is guaranteed to be placed. And there's a few horses in this that are not going to run. So it's going to cut up a lot, and I think it's just going to be 2 of them fighting out the finish, with Monkfish coming first and Latest Exhibition finish the second. So it's either each way, because there's going to be 2 places you can go on. So it's either that or you can do the forecast, whichever one tickles your fancy. But I think it's between the 2 of them, no matter what. Can't have Conflated at all. Yes, you probably won well last time, but the other 2 are miles better than it, in my opinion. Right, I'm an hour and a half into it. We're nearly there, lads. Hang in. I need a drink after this. Fuck me.
I need bed after this, to be honest.
Bed.
I dropped Siobhan to work at 8 o'clock this morning, and I've just been on the go ever since. I'm just knackered.
Oh, God, love you. I've been up at 6 o'clock in the morning with kids, then running around town all day, then going off to other places, then come back, fixing ovens, then have to do something else. And now I got over here and looking at the cars like, don't care, Tom. I switch places with you any day of the week.
The problem is I work from home now, so my commute to work is about 10 meters down the hallway.
Yeah,
5 to 9. So I'm just not used to it anymore.
Like I've like obviously me and Tom work in the same company. Like I literally just, this is me in bed, in work. It's literally what it is. It's ridiculous. Look, we're going to be in it for the next year. No chance in hell we're going back to the office. The biggest germaphobe, our boss is the biggest germaphobe ever.
He's right though. He's been proved bloody right now. We were one of the first offices out. Like, we were out before anyone was ordered out or anything. And,
we were out, what was it, a week and a half before Cheltenham?
No, Cheltenham week. Because we were in there. I hadn't any time to take off because of my wedding and a holiday to another friend's wedding. And we were sat there, and on the Tuesday, they said, right, lads, you're out from tomorrow. So I had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of Cheltenham working from home. It was epic.
0 done. Tom, where's them sheets? Oh, hello? Can't hear you. Bye.
Plenty done in the morning, all right. From about 1:15 onwards, not a lot, no.
Not a blessed thing. No, it's the same, even in the office. He sits across me in the office, and all I see is racing TV in there and racing TV on my one day. Not a thing done.
You're going to get us both fired. You know that?
Who listens to this? Like, Tom sits in a place where there's none behind him, only a wall, and I'm the same. I sit in a place where there's a wall behind me, and the rest of them are in the middle, and we just get away with murder.
Oh, that's my desk move when I go back to the office. Anyway.
We're not even going to be in there, but anyway. Right, our last race of the evening is the Grade 1 Madison. Oh, look at that. Hold up now. That's annoying. The Madison Hurdle, which is Grade 2 over 2 miles. Grade 1 over 2 miles. More or less a champion hurdle trial. We have St. Raw is a 13-day favourite. Abracadabras is 2-1. We have Aspire Tower 9-2, who is being bought by Robcore. Did you see that? I only noticed that today. Sharda, Saldier, Beacon Age, Petit Mouchoir, and Core Sublime. Thomas Rain. Are you keeping the faith with St. Raw?
I am. I'm going to give him another chance. Hopefully this is run at a decent pace. Hopefully your old friend Petit Mouchoir goes on.
I love the big grey little fecker.
And makes it a good gallop. And hopefully he goes on at a good pace and Saint-Ouen jumps better, settles better. I heard David Katie has been riding him at home now, so they think he's going to settle better. Yeah, I'm still excited about him. I still think he's a top-class horse. I think he'll beat Abracadabras. I also think Aspire Tower will beat Abracadabras. And if you are looking for a forecast bet or an exacta bet, I should probably promote the tote a little bit now. He would be the one for me to finish second.
Really?
Do you not think? No, he hammered it now, Royal.
I do. I can't have abracadabra, whatever the hell you want to call him these days. Like 2-1, I can't have him at all. Like, yes, he beat St. Rod the last time. Like, to me, Aspire Tower was the bet in this. He's 9-2 after beating Abracadabras already. St. Rod could do with jumping a lot better. Aspire Tower jumps very well. He's improved a lot. He won that race very well up and down Royal. He'll get a nice little toe into it off Petit Mouchoir. I think he's very underestimated at 9-2 just because he came out as juvenile hurdle form or season. But I can see him running a huge race. Who are you liking this, Andrew?
Yeah, well, I like Saint-Ouen as well. Like I'm on him at bigger prices for the champion hurdle, so I really hope he wins this race. Otherwise, that dream's probably out the bin at this stage. I think he'll reverse form. I'd like to hope, as Tom was saying, look, they go a bit better clip. I think he's got all the speed in the world. Just needs to jump a little bit better. I think he's got the winning of this race. Bit like yourself, though, with Aspire Tower. The one I just cannot understand the price on is Sharjah at 8-1. I think he's won the race the last 2 years. It's going to be decent ground at Leopardstown. He's the horse that everyone is going, yeah, Sharjah, yeah, they're all better than him. None of, like, and I love Saint-Ouen, but none of them have proved to be as good as Sharjah. He's the one that sets the standard in the race. He came second in the champion hurdle. Nobody thought he'd run any sort of race in the champion hurdle, and he came second. He's won this race the last 2 years in a row. I think it could be a bit of a burn up in front in Petit Mouchoir. You know, Aspire Tower usually goes pretty handy, pretty free as well. Sharjah will sit out the back of all of them, and he'd be the one I'd be most concerned about with Saint-Ouen. Saint-Ouen jumps to last, you know, in the lead, and Sharjah comes and mugs them. Because I feel I've been at Leopardstown the last, 10 years in a row, back in the favourite of this race, and Sharjah comes and mugs me every single time. Then I back Sharjah at the Dublin Racing Festival every time, and he always lets me down. So he's a horse I can't get any handle on, but I do think, especially if it's decent ground come Tuesday, which if there's not much rain, Leopardstown dries out like that these days. I think Sharjah 8-1. I think it's a cracking each way bet. In essence, everyone has to find to get to his level. I'm not saying that people can't progress past him. Obviously, all three at the top of the betting could, but none of them have. So I think 8-1 is actually a pretty good price for Sharjah.
It is when you take all of that into consideration. If they do have to come to this level, no one's really taken to him because he's. I don't know why. I tried to explain it there, but I actually can't.
He's just in and out. I think he's the type of horse. He seems to win when nobody's on, and then the next time everyone's on, and then he never wins. It's as if he knows. I think as a horse,
you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Nicholas Canyon. Yeah,
exactly. He knows people are on, and then he goes, "Nah, not today." Nah. And then every time he hears people go, sure, he's not good enough, not good.
He'd be looking at Patrick. Hey, Patrick, what price am I today? 66. All right, let's do it.
The only thing with Sharjah is, now I totally agree, if the couple at the top of the market bomb out, he'd be there to pick up the pieces. And he has won this the last 2 years, but he's beaten Super Sunday and Tombstone, and then Petit Mouchoir and Curse Sublime. Classical Dream was favourite and he bombed out, and then Sam Crow and Mellon pretty much bombed out as well. So he will pick up the pieces, but I think Aspire Tower and Sant Ra have to bomb out for him to do so. It's not impossible. But
yeah, the only thing I'd say to that, though, is do you think San Juan would get within 2.5 lengths of Epatante right now?
Oh,
sorry. Or Aspire Tower, for that matter, or Abacadabras.
I wouldn't rule it out. Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out.
I'd like to hope San Juan could, but I don't think the other two, personally, I don't think they'd be near Epatante.
Would you be You'd be disappointed if Sharjah did win it, though, wouldn't you?
Oh, very much so. Yeah. No, he's not the horse. Nobody wants him to win. But I'm not saying he can. But he can win. If he wins the race, we're all there going, Lord above. The champion.
How did that win?
Yeah, the champion is going to be a brutal race because Epatante will then just piss up. The race needs San Juan to win it by 5 lengths. And then we're suddenly going, you know what? This San Juan actually maybe could beat Epatante. I think he's the champion. I think he's the only horse in the race. Sam was the only horse in the race, I think, that could win it potentially by 5 or 6 lengths.
Yeah, I'm the same in that he has so much improvement to come from. If a race is run proper, his jumping could come on. He'll settle a lot better. Like his performance in the county hurdle, you can't get that out of your head. It was the horses he beat behind him as well was good. Mullen seems to think that he is their champion hurdle horse. Like he put in the best work of all his horses going into Shetland last year, so that's the thing to take into consideration as well. It's only his 3rd run in open company, so Jesus, you'd be hoping he could absolutely hack up, I say hack up, but win it going away and win it well, because we do need something to put it up to Epatante, or you'd be seeing Paddy Power half an hour after this paying out on Epatante already, because there's nothing else in there. Like Goshen is gone again. He was entered up and Jamie Moore was booked up on him for the Christmas hurdle. So God only knows what's out there to go near him. So I'm hoping St. Ra will win, but I think Aspire Tower 5-1 is the each way bet I want to play. God, I'm turning into Tom. Jesus.
Yeah. It's you're just getting sense, Andrew. It's just happening.
It is. It's a sensible bet, isn't it? Fuck. Right. On to our naps the next best. I told Baldy I'd ring him. I told the other fella I'd ring him.
Okay.
So, hold up now. Tom, you're going to kill in airtime.
Oh, thanks. Is that basically saying, Tom, you talk shit? You have a little chat there. Oh, you're after freezing now, Andrew. Imagine we lose him now. After all this, Andrew, imagine he's gone.
An hour and 45. Tended.
An hour and 45 gone. Because Andrew's frozen.
Am I?
Oh, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're back. Do you know what? I think it's when I rang Dave. Hold up now. I'll try it again, see what happens.
All right.
Can you still hear me? Am I still here?
Yeah. No, you're gone now. No. It's when you're ringing Dave, so why don't we text Dave and ask him?
Oh, I bloody ring him after and put it in. Right, anyway, naps next best. Andrew, you go because Tom is never, ever, ever ready.
Yeah, okay. Well, my nap is Dominator each way in the Welsh National, big price. Just love the horse for the race. And one that nobody will have looked at yet is on Stephen's Day, the 3:13 at Wetherby. I think the bet of the day on Stephen's Day, a horse called Trooper Turnbull at 9-2, won't be beat.
There's balls for you now. Wetherby. Back arse and over. What's the name again?
Trooper Turnbull at 9-2.
Trooper Turnbull. Thomas Rain.
Right. I am going left field for my nap as well. And what is worse is I can't even say her name.
Dundalk 410. Make good.
157 Limerick on St. Stephen's Day or Boxing Day, whatever you want to call it. Faugheen Brelach.
I thought that you have to butcher that name.
How do you say it, lads? Go on.
Faugheen Bialach.
Faugheen Bialach. Oh. That wasn't bad on me, actually, the second time.
Faugheen Balioch or whatever you came out.
Faugheen Balak. Yeah.
Move on quickly.
So, I don't know. That's what the letters say.
It's not what your mouth is saying, though.
Arthur Moore's horse comes back to hurdling after winning over fences. Normally, I wouldn't like horses who've done that, but she looks to have really progressed this year. Has won over fences off a mark of 108. 2.5 miles is definitely her game. Goes on soft to heavy. Has very good form over hurdles as well. Was second of 24 in a court maiden hurdle behind Donkey Years, which is a good horse at JP's. And was also placed at Galway in a maiden hurdle. So I don't think it's going to inconvenience her coming back to hurdles. Is 9-2, 5-1 kind of job. Off a mark of 107, I think she'll win that. And my next best is going to be Clan Des Obeaux. It's a toss-up between Clan Des Obeaux and Home by the Lee.
So which one then?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Clan Des Obeaux. Who's to be honest, I think he's a solid bet at 2-1. If we
what's her each way nap then?
My Home by the Lee each way. Yeah.
You got you out of jail as always.
Yeah. And if we want to include Dave in this podcast, Dave loves his muggy acas and his muggy trebles as naps. Prices with William Hill at the minute. If you back Shaq and Pessoa, Shishkin, Altior, and Epatante, it's 7-2.
That's buying money.
I don't see it. I know you normally do one of those and one of them gets beat, but I don't see any of those getting beat.
No, not a chance.
You find yourself on one of them at 7-2. So
my nap is Shamblew on Stephen's Day, running the Kempton Kauto Star Novice Chase. My next best is Minella Indo in the Savills Chase. And my each way bet, it was going to be Home by the Lee, but Tom put it up. My other each way bet is Springfield Fox in the Welsh National at 7-8-1. Jesus, that was loud.
That is a long old show, lads, and that's a lot of races. So
an hour and 15 minutes, and I never thought I'd need a drink as much in my life. But anyway, this is us wrapped up for a Christmas special. Andrew, I want to thank you again for coming on and such short. No, I only text Andrew like 4 o'clock.
I need no second invitation to chat shite. So
come to the right place. Come to the right place. But Tom, thanks again as always.
Thank you. I'll put my email in the description for the new horse.
Sure,
if you want
Christmas.
to buy yourself a Christmas present, get in touch.
I want a Christmas present. Hashtag share. Anyway, this is us. I don't know when we're back. I don't even know what day. I'm on holidays a week now, and I don't even know what day I have. So we will be back anyway with our review of everything that happened over Christmas, and we try to get it in before the new year. So again, thanks for watching, lads. Have a good Christmas. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Keep this COVID shit down, so we might be able to get back to Cheltenham or Punchestown or God damn, leave me back into Tramore. I don't care. So have a good Christmas, lads. Thanks for watching again. Give us a like and subscribe, and we will see you before the new year.